Africa is a continent of contrasts. It is home to immense wealth, gold, diamonds, oil, fertile land. The golden light touches deserts, forests, cities, villages, and rivers that stretch beyond the horizon. Children walk to school along dusty roads. Farmers step into green fields. In the distance, modern skyscrapers rise above busy streets, and some of the youngest and most energetic populations on Earth. Yet for decades, the world has often associated Africa with poverty, conflict, corruption, and instability. The question echoes across classrooms, documentaries, and conversations around the world. Africa, how did we get here? How did a continent so rich in natural resources struggle with economic hardship? How did lands that once hosted powerful kingdoms become divided by fragile borders? How did cultures that shaped global civilization find themselves fighting to reclaim their identity? To understand the present, we must travel deep into the past. Because Africa's story did not begin with crisis. It began with brilliance. Long before modern nations existed, before colonial powers arrived, before the world began writing Africa's story from the outside, Africa was already shaping history. And to understand how we got here, we must begin there. Thousands of years ago, Africa was home to some of the most advanced civilizations on Earth. Along the Nile River rose the powerful civilization of ancient Egypt. Its pyramids, temples, and hieroglyphic writings would later astonish the world. But Egypt was only one part of Africa's story. Across the Sahara Desert, powerful empires flourished through trade and scholarship. The Mali Empire dominated West Africa between the 13th and 16th centuries. At its peak, its ruler, Mansa Musa, became legendary for his wealth. During his famous pilgrimage to Mecca, historians say he distributed so much gold that it disrupted economies across cities he visited. Meanwhile, the ancient city of Timbuktu became a center of learning. Scholars gathered in its universities, writing manuscripts on astronomy, mathematics, medicine, and law. Across the continent, powerful kingdoms shaped African history. The Kingdom of Benin created intricate bronze artworks that still amaze historians today. The Kingdom of Congo built complex political systems and trade networks. And in the Horn of Africa, the Ethiopian Empire maintained centuries of independence while developing its own culture, religion, and architecture. Africa was not isolated. Trade routes connected African merchants with Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. Gold, salt, ivory, textiles, and ideas flowed across continents. But change was approaching, and it would reshape Africa forever. In the 15th century, European explorers began sailing along the African coastline. Portuguese ships were among the first to arrive. Initially, trade was peaceful. Europeans exchanged goods with African merchants for gold, ivory, and spices. But gradually, a darker trade emerged. A trade that would become one of the most tragic chapters in human history. The transatlantic slave trade. For more than 400 years, millions of Africans were captured, sold, and transported across the Atlantic Ocean. Families were separated, villages were destroyed. Men, women, and children were forced onto ships bound for plantations in the Americas. Historians estimate that more than 12 million Africans were taken during this period. Many died before reaching the other side of the ocean. The loss of generations of young, strong people weakened many African societies. Communities were destabilized. Conflicts increased. The continent was slowly being drained of its human potential, but the worst was still to come. By the late 19th century, European nations were competing for power, resources, and global influence. Africa, rich in land and natural wealth, became the focus of their ambitions. In 1884, European leaders gathered in Germany for the Berlin Conference. During this meeting, European powers divided Africa among themselves. No African leader was present. No African nation was consulted. Borders were drawn on maps in European capitals. Those borders ignored languages, cultures, and existing kingdoms. Entire communities were suddenly forced into new political systems under foreign rule. Colonial administrations took control. Across the continent, Africans were forced to work in mines, plantations, and construction projects. Railways were built not to connect African communities, but to transport resources out of Africa. Rubber from Congo, gold from South Africa, cocoa from West Africa, palm oil, copper, diamonds. Africa's wealth fueled industrial growth in Europe, but the people who lived on that land saw little benefit. Still, resistance was growing. By the mid-20th century, African voices were rising louder than ever. Educated Africans began organizing political movements demanding independence. Workers protested colonial labor systems. Students demanded equality. One of the earliest successes came in 1957, when Ghana became the first sub-Saharan African nation to gain independence from colonial rule. Its leader, Kwame Nkrumah, became a symbol of African freedom. Soon, independence movements spread across the continent. In Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta led the country toward self-rule. In Congo, Patrice Lumumba inspired millions with his vision for a free and united nation. Across Africa, colonial flags began to fall. By the 1960s, dozens of African nations had gained independence. A new era had begun. But independence brought new challenges. Many African countries inherited political systems designed for colonial control, not democratic governance. The borders drawn in Europe decades earlier remained unchanged. Different ethnic groups were forced to share fragile political structures. Some leaders became authoritarian rulers. Military coups spread through several nations. During the global rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union, many African countries became battlegrounds for influence during the Cold War. External powers supported different factions, often worsening internal conflicts. Civil wars erupted in some regions. Economic instability slowed development. The dreams of independence were harder to achieve than many had hoped. But Africa's story did not end in tragedy. Across the continent, people continued building, rebuilding, and dreaming. Today, Africa has the youngest population in the world. Entrepreneurs are launching startups. Technology hubs are growing in cities like Nairobi and Lagos. New infrastructure is being built. Innovation is spreading in agriculture, finance, and technology. African culture, music, fashion, art, and film is influencing the global stage. A new generation is emerging, to one that is determined to shape Africa's future on its own terms. The camera once again rises above the African continent, from the Sahara Desert to the rainforests of Central Africa.